You're wondering whether you should open a 529 college savings plan for your kids because you're not sure if your kids will even go to college. But what you probably didn't know is that Secure Act 2.0, which was passed in December 2021, allows parents, grandparents, or guardians, or whoever the custodians of the 529 college savings plan to roll it over to the beneficiary's Roth IRA. And there are several restrictions that come with this benefit. So let me give you the full breakdown. So the first rule you need to be aware of is that the 529 college savings plan needs to be at least 15 years old. This means that you need to have your 529 account open for at least 15 years before you can roll any of the money into the Roth IRA. The one thing that's not clear from this new law is what happens when you change the beneficiary for the 529 account. So if you didn't know this, as a custodian, you can change the beneficiary for the 529 at any time as long as the new beneficiary is in the same family tree. And you can even designate yourself as the beneficiary. But does that mean I can roll the 529 back to my Roth IRA? If you change the beneficiary from your child to another member in your family tree, would you have to reset the 15-year clock? These are the questions that are still not answered by the IRS until they release the latest guidance on it. And I'll keep you updated, so be sure to subscribe if you haven't done it already. But one thing that is clear is that you cannot roll over the money that you contributed to the 529 within the last 5 years. So if you have a 529 open for the last 15 years, and let's say you didn't contribute anything for the first 10 years, and then you start contributing to it in the last 5 years for some reason, you're going to have to wait another year to make the rollover to your beneficiary's Roth IRA to get past the 5-year rule. You can log into your 529 account to find out how much contributions you made annually. And I encourage you to track it on a separate spreadsheet, because if you had a 529 account with a broker that was sold or merged with another broker, you want to keep a detailed record of it. And the 5-year rule also includes the earnings that accrued in that year. So you should keep track of both contributions and earnings every single year. And I make these personalized trackers for my private clients. So if you're interested in joining my private client program, you can schedule a consultation with me by visiting firesuccess.com/consultation. And how much you can roll over every year will depend entirely on the Roth IRA contribution limit for the tax year. At the time I'm recording this video, I'm in the tax year 2024, and the Roth IRA contribution limit is $7,000. So $7,000 is the maximum I can roll over the 529 college savings plan over to my beneficiary's Roth IRA in the tax year 2024. If the contribution limit increases to $7,500 in the future years, then that's the maximum I can move money out of the 529 to the beneficiary's Roth IRA. And the lifetime rollover limit is $35,000. And obviously you can't make the entire rollover of $35,000 in 1 year because of the Roth IRA contribution limit, unless Congress passes a law to make these changes, or you're watching this video 25 years later, and that would be insane. But anyway, because of the lifetime rollover limit at $35,000, let's assume that the Roth IRA contribution limit remains the same at $7,000 for the next 5 years. You can do $7,000 in 2024, another $7,000 in 2025, and then 2026, 2027, and then finish up the rollover in 2028 when you hit the maximum at $35,000. Again, the 5-year rule applies. So this is assuming that you contributed and earned $35,000 within the first 10 years of owning the 529 college savings plan. But before you make that rollover, you need to make sure that the beneficiary has earned income in the same year you make the rollover that is at least equal to the amount being rolled over. So if you make the $7,000 rollover this year, then your beneficiary also needs to have a job that pays at least $7,000 in the same year. So if your child is not working that year because he or she is in school, then you can't make that rollover happen. And if your beneficiary earns less than $7,000, like let's say $5,000, then the maximum rollover limit is $5,000 in that same year. That makes sense so far, right? And here's the awesome benefit about the 529 to Roth IRA rollover. The Roth IRA income limits do not apply to the rollover for the beneficiary. It applies to the custodian, but not to the beneficiary who receives the 529 to Roth IRA rollover. So in 2024, if your modified adjusted gross income is above $146,000 as a single individual or $230,000 as a married couple, filing taxes jointly, you will have to do a backdoor Roth IRA conversion, but it does not apply to the beneficiary. These income limits do not apply to the 529 to Roth IRA rollover. However, you should check with the state law you reside in, because some states do impose a tax on the rollovers if the dollars received a tax break going in, while others don't. With federal taxes, your contributions to the 529 plans and Roth IRAs are both in after-tax dollars, so you won't have to worry about the federal income tax. And remember, it has to be a direct trustee-to-trustee rollover. If you have kids, grandkids, cousins, or someone else in your family tree you want to help out with a college fund, and they end up not going to college or receiving a scholarship or some kind, then you can plan to have this rollover to the same beneficiary in the future years and not to someone else. By the way, I am so fired up to announce the launch of my private FIRE community for people just like you and me who are passionate about investing, saving, and achieving financial independence and exploring different possibilities to retire early. My private community will allow you to connect with me on the platform and get in touch with other like-minded individuals or couples who are just as serious as you are with the FIRE movement. As a member of my private community, you'll get resources like investing, saving, paying off debt, or finding the right place to grow your money. And check out this Roth IRA calculator, which you can download for free by visiting firestation.com/resources. If you gift your beneficiary $7,000 each year, right over here between 2024 and 2028, with an 8% average annual return, by the end of year 5, your beneficiary could have $44,351. And again, this is assuming that you have an 8% average annual return and starting with $0 in the Roth IRA. And imagine how much your beneficiary could grow in the Roth IRA if that person started at the age of 18. So let's scroll down just a little bit. And if you go to age 40, the beneficiary could have $507,000. And when you get to age 50, could have $1.268 million in tax-free money. And then by age 60 or 59.5, this person, what a beneficiary, could have almost $3 million in the Roth IRA. And that could be very powerful if you are able to roll over your 529 to your beneficiary's Roth IRA for 5 years at $35,000. If you would rather keep the money to yourself, just remember that when you make the 529 withdrawal to yourself, the contributions you made to the 529 plan are already taxed at the federal level. So it's not going to incur any additional federal income tax or the 10% penalty. You will, however, owe state income tax, depending on the state, on the contribution if you made it in pre-tax dollars. So be sure to check with the state laws. The earnings, on the other hand, that accrued from the contributions are subject to a 10% penalty, federal income tax, and state income tax for any non-educational expenses. Also remember, if the student received a scholarship, then the value of the scholarship could be eligible for a penalty-free withdrawal. And doing this 529 to Roth IRA rollover can help your kids or grandkids save extra cash instead of contributing to the Roth IRA for up to $35,000. They could use that to save for a down payment on their first home, purchase a vehicle, or go on a family vacation with you. But before you give any of this money to them, it's important to teach them why contributing to their Roth IRAs early is important for their retirement journey. Do not blindly give them money without proper financial education. And this has been another beast of a video, and I hope you got a lot out of it.